Welcome to Supersport Park and day 2 of the Momentum Health Challenge, and getting us underway today on another beautiful sunny day in Centurion are the two losers from yesterday. Northern Cape Heat to Eastern Storm opener Kabelo Sekekune, and he's underway straight away with a single. I'm Ken Borland, and it's a great pleasure to have alongside me former Titans all-rounder and now a very successful coach at the Vaderkloof school system, Kobus Pienaar. Morning, Kobus.
Good morning, Ken. Yeah, lovely. Great spring day, 2nd of September. Beautiful to start the cricket season. And what a privilege for these young men to play in this Momentum Health Challenge, day 2. And obviously after today, someone else will have another win under the belt. And it's so important for these youngsters to get the season up and running.
Odorile Modimekwane is again opening the bowling for Northern Cape, as he did yesterday. He bowled 3 pretty tidy overs yesterday. I was surprised he didn't get a 4th over, actually, because things weren't going too well for Northern Cape with the ball.
Yeah, he's always been a very tidy left-arm spinner. Good control. You can see in his start here, definitely balls in the right area. Nice attacking offside field, and the 2 boundary riders on the leg side. Long on and deep at wicket.
Trying to get it past that short third man there. Reverse sweeps in the first over of the day. Not that unusual anymore.
Yeah, T20 cricket, we're used to these type of shots. You can see the offside field is all in the 30-yard circle, so that's a potential boundary option for Sekekune.
Nicely struck down the ground, over mid-off. Excellent shot by Sekekune.
Yeah, so much better. You see the fuller delivery of the left-arm spinner. Made himself guilty of the length, just over pitch it on that occasion. A very good shot down the ground. There you can see he gets into position early. Nice timing. A good wicket, as you said yesterday, also early in the season, but a very good wicket at Supersport Park. It allowed the left-hand opening batter just to hit through the line with ease.
In good fielding from square leg to stop the single. So end of the first over, it's 6 without loss. No surprise, Kobus, that Northern Cape won the toss and elected to bowl in the morning game.
Yeah, always in the beginning of the summer, the beginning of the season, there's something in the morning at Supersport Park. We know they start 9:30, half an hour earlier than usual, so there's definitely something in for the bowlers. But then in saying that, they open with a left-arm spinner, which doesn't really help. But that's cricket these days, you know. It's not unusual for us to see spin bowlers in a power play in T20 cricket, and we know that he's more than capable of doing that job. But here's an old stalwart for the Northern Cape side, Romano Blanche. He played a lot of cricket for them the last few years. Originally from Free State, he played a bit for the Knights, and I must say 4 or 5 good seasons. A very, very important part as an all-rounder for this Northern Cape Heat side the last few years.
I was ribbing Pierre de Bruin yesterday a bit because Blanche made his debut in 2007, and I asked Pierre why he's playing, and Pierre de Bruin isn't anymore. And I suppose, Kobus, you would also have played a bit against Romano Blanche in your day. Oh, well put away. Too much on the leg side, and I think it's gone all the way. It has. Excellent start for Christopher Brits.
Yeah, nice maximum to start off your day. Christopher Brits, the right hand. Top order batter from Northern Cape Heat. Too easy. Romano Blanche guilty on this occasion. Too straight. And Chris Brits just helped it on its way. We've seen fine leg was in the circle. Field change also, fine leg going down to the boundary. But as Christmas comes in September, that's quite easy to start your innings. Yeah, you're 100% right. He played quite a lot of cricket against Romano Blanche. He was, as I said, part of that Free State squad. He did quite well. And I think at the beginning, Rudy Steyn was the coach when he started, when he made out his career there. So a long career for him.
Better line that time from Blanche. I guess it's the danger bowling left arm over the wicket to the right-hander with the short boundary on the leg side. Is he's got quite a small margin for error in terms of line.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the field placing, also a third man in the circle, sort of allow him no width outside the off stump, so he needs to bowl quite straight towards the batter.
That's
see.
a good line, yeah.
Yeah, it's a much better line. You could see there a line and attack. You can't really leave off stump. So anything outside off stump will just become a free shot for the right-handed Brits. So a difficult field to bowl to.
And especially with that very short leg side boundary, he can't get too straight either. He's come back really well, has Romano to Blanche from that first delivery.
Yeah, I can't agree more with you. You can see there's not a lot of swing on offer here. Not a cloud in the sky. A lovely spring day here in Pretoria. Beautiful weather. No real wind to speak about. So quite a challenging field placing, I must say. If I look at, as you rightly said, the long boundary on the offside, potentially to bring one of those rounder riders on the leg side up, give him more protection on the offside.
Yesterday, there was a little bit of swing in the two matches with the new ball, but just for a couple of overs, and then it kind of disappeared, and it actually became more effective for the pace bowlers to actually take pace off and dig it into the pitch. Same pitch being used again today. Do you feel that's going to come into play more and more? The slower balls bowled into the deck?
Yeah, I think today will most likely be the best day of this wicket over the next 4 days. Obviously yesterday as day 1, today day 2. Sort of a used wicket becomes quite nice on day 2 to play. But as long as this tournament will go on, I can't agree more with you that the slower balls and the cutters will come into play. Look at it's 31 degrees today also in Pretoria, so it's going to be very, very hot throughout the day. You can see that outfield, still early spring, needs some rain, and as soon as that first rain falls, usually lush green here at Supersport Park, we know the groundsman here is on another level in terms of his preparations and the way he gets things sorted. Just look at the square, it looks in immaculate condition for this time of year. So definitely today I would say will be batter friendly, and as long as this thing goes on into day 3 and day 4, the wicket might start to break up a little bit here and there, and then the spin bowlers and the slow bowlers will play a bigger part.
2 overs gone, 13 without loss, and Morne Fenter is replacing spinner Mpumalanga at the in-observer end. For those of you who weren't watching yesterday, just in case you're alarmed about what the outfield looks like, it's because groundsman Brian Bloy has been aerating it as part of the preparations for the busy new season. Good start by Fenter. Yeah, but it didn't play too badly yesterday. 1 or 2 balls had awkward bounces, but it's very quick still. It's even though there's tons of sand that's been added onto the outfield, batters really got value for money for their shots yesterday.
Very good first 2 deliveries here by Morne Fenter. That's one of his strengths, very accurate in terms of his line and length. He recently made the move across from Limpopo to play Northern Cape. His cricket this year, which is quite a big loss for the Limpopo side. He was a stalwart there, did quite well for them last season.
Bit of the bottom edge on that cut. It might work out nicely for Brits. It does. It beats third man, who was quite wide. So another boundary for Christopher Britt, 17 without loss.
Just guilty on this occasion, just too much room outside that off stump. Christopher Brits jumps on that front foot, not a lot of pace, and as you rightly said, the bottom edge allowed him to beat the third man fielder, and a welcome boundary for him to move into double figures.
That one worked away through square leg. It's such a big boundary on that leg side that the 2 runs are always something batsmen have to be alert for, and fielders as well. The fielder did come sprinting in from his deep position, but unable to stop the 2.
Yeah, highly impressive from Chris Brits again there. From his school days at Pretoria Boys Eye, that was one of his strengths, running between the wickets, and you could see automatically after the ball left the bat, he knew there was 2 on the cards, and he ran with purpose, and that's a very good trait as a young batter.
Chris Brits had a very good time in terms of white ball cricket for Eastern's last season. Missed out yesterday. Only made 9, hit a couple of early boundaries and then got out. Looked good in his brief stay at the crease. Oh, that's wayward and put away by Brits. That'll surely run away for 4. It does.
Yeah, there you can see, as Ken rightly mentioned, the outfield is still of very, very good pace, and that ball just ran away. Mono Fenter's last delivery, just too much on the leg side. Can only be angry with himself there. Easy pickings for Chris Brits, and he helped it on its way. There we can see nicely balanced, used it, middle of the bat, good timing, and the fielder halfway in on the long boundary had no chance of stopping that boundary.
So it's 23 without loss after 3 overs. Good start by the Eastern Storm. Power play, Cobus, what do you think sort of a benchmark Eastern should look at today?
Yeah, I reckon around 50 mark will be quite a good start of them. I'm a big believer that wickets in the power play is the only thing that can put you under pressure. So you never want to lose more than 2 wickets in a power play to have a good platform to work from. But this, at the halfway mark in the power play at 23, I reckon 50 will be a very competitive score and a very likeable total for them to get in this power play.
I'll have to go quickly, but it's a well-judged single by Sekekune. Yes, I guess it's about getting that balance right in the power play between, as Romano Tablanche just sharing a friendly word there with Kabelo Sekekune. I'm sure Romano Tablanche, been in the game so long, he's got a big treasure house full of clever remarks and
No, that's for sure.
little chirps. So about getting that balance right in the power play, that you don't want to be too conservative, obviously, but you also don't want to be rash and find yourself 4 wickets down in the first 6 overs.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a very good point in terms of the balance in the power play. And if you look at these opening partnerships, Sekekune and Brits, they're quite mature batters within cricket in South Africa. They played a couple of seasons already, but none of them are real explosive batters. They're more of the conservative approach in terms of opening batters, which is quite interesting in terms of modern day T20 cricket.
First signs of a little bit of swing there for Romano Tablanche.
Yeah, but nonetheless, in saying that, they're still highly capable batters, and sometimes also becomes easier the longer you stay at the crease. But you can see the way they approach this power play. There hasn't been cross the line shots or any funny scoops or things that we see in modern day cricket, so it's very conventional batting at this point in time, but still highly successful up to this stage.
That's nicely bowled. Just kind of shaped to come in, and then, if anything, just straightened off the deck a bit, and Sekekune was groping a bit at this delivery.
Yeah, it's a lovely length from Romano here. You can see that in between length between forward and going back, and Sekekune's front foot just didn't go down the line of the ball in that occasion. Beaten by Romano. And this last 2 deliveries of his second over is so important, how you finish your overs in the power play.
Gandhi, quick single to third man. He was battling a bit to pick the ball up first time. Sekekune seems to be targeting him a bit. Fuller that time from Tablanche, but he's ended the over well, much better first over by Romano Tablanche. 4 overs gone, 26 without loss.
Yeah, I must say, a very nice comeback of Romano Tablanche. He only conceded 4 runs, and his last 11 deliveries after that friendly first delivery that went for 6 from Christopher Brits' bat. So a tidy 11 balls after that, and that's what you need from your senior professional in terms of these power play overs, to make sure you get out of them unarmed, if that's the right English word to use, unarmed. I think it's quite a nice way to pronounce it in terms of power play these days, where we're so batter friendly with only 2 guys outside the 30-yard circle. So we've seen a lot more dominant performances in power plays from batters than bowlers in recent T20 cricket.
Yeah, to Blanche 2 overs for 10 bowling in the power play. You'll take that any day. That's a very tidy start by the left arm seamer. Morne Fenter is also going to bowl his second over on the trot now from the Henopsuber end. Sekikune, that's his game. Just quick singles and giving Brits the strike. Brits has a strike rate in T20 cricket. He's only played 9 matches before this week's Momentum Health Challenge. Strike rate of 135. So that's decent. He's born in Benoni, went to Pretoria University. As he gets a good single to mid-on. But then made his way to Potchefstroom and Northwest, where he first made his senior debut in 2020-21. He did have a stint with Northern Cape. That's Kubus Pino mentioned to me earlier, quite right. And now back at Easterns from last season, back where it all started from for him. Oh, Sekikune, excellent. He walked into the line of that delivery, just a little shuffle towards the offside and beautifully clipped away over mid-wicket for 6.
Yeah, that's highly impressive. Sekikune just gets into Morne Fenter's line. He realized the pace of the wicket is quite friendly, and you can see it's an early move towards the batter, and he helps it on his way. Left-hander strength over that mid-wicket boundary, and the timing was immaculate. Lovely 6 by Sekikune.
And then the quick single makes it 35. Without loss. Pierre de Bain and myself yesterday felt that Easterns didn't really make use of the short boundary on the leg side for the left-hander as he bats at this West Lane in yesterday. But early signs are good. Easterns have hit a couple of 6s there now.
Yeah, if you look at Eastern's scorecard yesterday, we were quite conservative and not losing a lot of wickets, but not really setting the platform in that first innings of them.
That's between fine leg and the deep square leg, who is going to cut it off. Ooh, bit of a fumble. They'll come back for 2. Sekikune working hard.
Yeah, very good over so far from the Eastern's batters. You can see straight away Brits again very active in front of the wicket. He uses his crease, he gets into the line of the bowler, and he manipulates the ball behind that square leg fielder. And a lot of work to that long boundary, as you rightly said, for welcome 3 runs to Christopher Britt's account.
Oh, fiddling, has he got an edge on it? He has. Sekikune just trying to be a little bit too cute there. You've seen him get a lot of little dabs for singles, and that time just a faint edge through to the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, big first wicket. You can see the effort delivery of Morne Fenter was just a bit more bounce, and Sekikune tried to run it down. But the keeper did well to get in position. And an easy catch straight to him, and that's vital breakthrough in the power play. So important for the bowling side to keep getting wickets in this power play, to stop the flow of runs, and Sekikune will be very upset with that. He just had a start. There we can see 15, just sort of got used to the pace of the wicket, and unfortunately he needs to make his way back to the dugout.
Kabela Sekikune caught by the wicketkeeper Garnet Tar off Morne Fenter for 15 off 13 balls, a 4 and a 6. I guess the good news is though that it's already a much better start in the power play for Easterns than they had yesterday. Yesterday they were 36 for 3 in the power play. 38 for 1 now after 5 overs. As Braden Hicks comes to the wicket. Another guy who's spent some time at Pretoria University, Tux.
Yeah, dangerous young cricketer, more explosive batter, looks to score quite quickly, hits the ball in odd areas, very busy at the crease. Good for him to get his going and to become part of this eastern side as a top order batter. So a very nice opportunity that lies ahead of him.
You are going to see a change of bowling. Romano to Blanche done a good job, as we said, 2 overs for 10. But Mpumalanga is turning from the West Lane end. Different challenge for the left arm spinner. He's done all his bowling previously in this Momentum Health Challenge from the Henops River end. So he now has a short leg side boundary bowling to the right arm, the right hander, Christopher Brits, which is probably as he would prefer it. Brits will have to hit against the turn to access that short leg side boundary. Oh, good sharp fielding, that extra cover. The boundary fielders are a long off and a man at cow corner. And that one's through backward point. Brits did nicely there, just waited for it. He knows there's a big gap if he can get it through square of the wicket, and he gets his boundary.
Yeah, Christopher Brits just shows us how difficult it is to bowl in this power play. Only 2 guys outside the circle. The left-arm spinner just made himself guilty of leaving the stumps there, and as you rightly said, waited for the ball beautifully to get in the gap behind the point, square of the wicket, and the timing was exquisite for another boundary on the floor for Chris Brits. He's moving on nicely on to 27 in the power play already.
The arm ball from Mpumalanga. Brits just gets a inside edge onto it. Good running.
Very good hustle for that single. The last 2 balls exactly where it needs to be of this field. Both balls were onto that off stump line, which is so important not to give any room. And this will be a good battle. Hicks's first delivery. Same field again, they leave that vacant mid-wicket area open for the single, just to tuck it around.
Good work by Mpumalanga. Varying his pace nicely in this over as well. Well worked by Hicks. Foul corner is a fair way to go. So a couple of runs for Hicks to get himself off the mark. And 45 for 1 after 6 overs. So a power play that I think the Eastern Storm will be happy with. But Northern Cape won't be too upset, I think, because they haven't really got massively away from them either.
Yeah, I think that breakthrough, the Sekekune wicket, was quite important on them. It was just the over when you felt like they were actually going to double figures there and putting pressure on the side, and that wicket just sort of slowed down the swing of things for the Northern Cape Heat side. And also important is Northern Cape Heat side, how they sort of bounced back after yesterday's loss. A couple of wholesome changes in their squad. A new coach in Duzin Bata, who joined up with them for this season from the Dolphins. He was assistant coach there. That was a very good challenge for him with a new squad and a couple of young players. And also the first season as a new coach, you sometimes inherit a squad and you can't really bring all your own players there. So to sort of find that team culture and that balance between the squad and the old ways of doing things and creating a new environment, it's always nice to see our guys sort of find their feet and become part of the new system.
Yeah, there are 7 new players in the Northern Cape squad for this season from last season. Morne Fente, we've seen bowling, he's one of them from Limpopo, as Corbus Pienaar said. Garnet Tar, the wicket-keeper from Free State. As Chepo and Tuli is into the attack. Wicketkeeper Tar thinks there was certainly an edge. You could certainly hear a wooden sound, and I think he might have edged that into his leg, and then it's bounced up.
See the two umpires getting together there. Not 100% convinced what the final decision will be here. Yeah, it's just too much uncertainty there, Ken, to be honest with you. You could definitely see the bottom edge, but where did it touch ground? We haven't got the DRS to slow it down to really see what's happening here. So I think at the end of the day, benefit of the doubt will always go to the batter here. And doesn't look like Garnet Tar is too upset with the decision being made.
Yeah, it was more a polite query, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, from our viewpoint, Garnet Tar obscuring our vision. It might well have hit the pitch and then bounced up onto Britt. So he survives on 28. Just those other new players for Northern Cape this season. Nonalela Yika, who arrived from Mpumalanga. Odarila Modimekwane, who we've seen bowling already. He moved over from Northwest along with Tansanka Kubala. Played yesterday. Slashed away behind point, and that'll be 4 for Braden Hicks.
Yeah, nice way for Braden Hicks to get his first boundary. Cut shot on the offside. We mentioned earlier that he's a busy player. He's a firm striker of a cricket ball. He gets into position very early there. And a welcome boundary for him to get things underway.
And 50 up for Easterns. Took them 39 balls.
Always get the sense that he got so much time in front of the wicket.
It's walloped, but straight to long on.
I must say, very pleasing on the eye. The right-handed Hicks plays with a lot of freedom, and as I mentioned, he got a lot of time on his hands. Doesn't look like phased, doesn't look rushed from the bowlers.
Another good single. Yeah, Hicks, he got a game or two for the Titans, which I think recognises the talent and potential that they saw. But for a guy like that, I think it's a good move to go to the Eastern Storm and get regular first-class cricket, get regular senior cricket, even if it is in Division 2.
Yeah, I can't agree enough with you with that comment. I think that's so important for South Africa of the two-tier system in terms of Division A and Division B, that the guys really take the opportunity to get over the line and to sort of test their skills and to see how their careers can grow. I think that's where the county system in England, that they develop so much players, and guys get so much opportunity to play at the highest level, and that's the only way you're really going to grow and upskill yourself.
It is Modimekwane back into the attack, dropped that a little bit short, allowing Brits to rock back and get it down to long on. 53 for 1 now. 1 ball bowled in the 8th over. Oh, leading edge for Hicks, trying to whip that leg side. Absolutely right, Corbus. It's the only way players learn and develop is by playing. You've got to be out there in the heat of battle, experiencing different match situations. I always think better to be playing. Maybe not necessarily for the team you want to play for, but better to be getting out there and learning your trade than just sitting on the bench all the time.
Yeah, if we look at modern day sport, it becomes sort of the norm these days for guys to move around and to actually fast track their careers and get opportunities to play. I think if we look back at my days and older days, if you look at the early 2000s and things, it was a lot more conservative in terms of players moving around the country, where definitely the last 4 or 5 years we've seen a lot of movement across the board from different provinces and players getting opportunities at different unions.
Storm just milking Mpumalanga for the ones here. Just 3 off the over so far. Important that they don't totally lose their attacking mindset. Still need to get some boundaries in these middle overs. I don't think that's got much chance of succeeding, that appeal, but it's a good end to the over and a very tidy over by Odorine Mpumalanga. Just 3 runs off it, 55 for 1 after 8.
Yeah, very good captaincy by the Northern Cape here to bring on the 2 spin bowlers. You could see straight away after the power play, spin from both ends, take off all the pace and put all the pressure on the batters to make a play here and to see what the situation is. You can see here the boundary riders are out, a couple of guys on the leg side, deep square and at mid-wicket boundary, cow corner, long on and long off on the fence. And straight away you can see Ntuli, very clever bowler in this format of cricket, takes away all breaths of space to try and give himself some room to get over the offside.
This time he steps outside off stump and sweeps, but it will just be 1. Bit more air from Ntuli on that occasion. Easterns need to be careful that they don't get tied down here in these middle overs against spin. Lofted away over wide mid wicket. They'll come back for 2 on this occasion. It's a long throw out there on the long on boundary. 58 for 1 now inside the 9th over. Oh, beautifully bowled by Ntuli in the block hole. And Braden Hicks just kept that out.
Yeah, very well bowled. You see the quicker delivery there. I'm 100% with you that I realized yesterday that 143 wasn't enough. They lost that easily already in the 14th over. So they'll be very careful of that to see where they're going to sort of pull the trigger here and to see a score of more in the area of 160 plus. I think will be the target from here on in. Only 1 wicket down, basically the 9th over, almost at the halfway stage. So I can't agree more that they're falling a little bit behind the required rate here to set up a good target in this first innings.
Yeah, since the power play, we've had 3 overs and just 14 runs scored. Very important, I feel that Christopher Brits, he's in, he's on 33 not out, he's batted really well in the power play. But what does he need to do now, Kobus, to make sure they build properly on that foundation? Little shuffle down the wicket and slashed over extra cover. They'll come back for 2.
A good shot there by Braden Hicks. Used the crease well, gave himself some room to be able to open up the offside to hit it over there. I think he's very important here, Ken. Christopher Brits is so important for him to go quite deep in this innings to keep playing. But Hicks needs to take a bit of freedom. There you can see, try and expose that vacant offside with no luck. Good bowling again by Mpumalanga. Clever bowler, take away all his room.
Down the wicket again, but Brits picks out extra cover. That's a nicely struck sweep onto the grass banks for 6 by Chris Brits.
Yeah, that will definitely relieve a bit of pressure from Chris Brits. He used the short boundary to great effect. He knew the ball was straighter for Mpumalanga this time round, and he got into that back knee and he helped it over onto the embankment for 6.
Down the wicket now, chip to long off. Hicks, oh no, there's trouble here, Hicks. Oh. Hicks initially called for the second. Brits responded, but Hicks sent him back just in time.
Oh, very good fielding here by the young Tristan Jansen van Rensburg. Got to the ball quickly, strong arm, and in the end, Hicks made the right decision.
Oh, it's the last ball of Mpumalanga spell, and he beats Hicks. All ends up. So, 10 overs gone. It's 69 for 1. Mpumalanga has bowled out, and what a good job he's done. 4 overs, none for 26. Tepper and Tuli, the other spinner, also going well. 2 overs, none for 11. The Northern Cape do have another spin option, which is James Ritchie. Bowls a bit of leg spin. Do you think he's feasible to come on here, Kobus?
Yeah, I definitely feel the way that this game is set up here, that the slow bowlers definitely have an impact. It's worth having a go to see what the leg spinner can do. Always leg spinners, you know, they tend to take wickets in the shorter format of the game also.
Tuli is swept. Good work by short fine leg to prevent the boundary, but the deflection will allow them to come back for 2.
Yeah, very good conventional sweep shot by Chris Brits there. And Tuli guilty to bowling that delivery too straight on the leg side.
Clever by Tuli, excellent bowling, which maybe just going a little bit early.
Yeah, I think the reason for this shot that he's trying to open up the offside, if you look at our square that boundary field and offside is, the whole extra cover area is vacant if you can just beat one fielder there.
Aha. Doing the 2-step, Christopher Brits, and not quite making it to the boundary, but they will get 2. It's a good game of cat and mouse between these two at the moment, and Tuli and Chris Brits.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Cat and mouse movements there in front of the stumps, but nonetheless well played, and again out to that big boundary, and beautiful fielding there by Tristan Jansen van Rensburg to cut off the boundary and only give them 2.
Work to square leg again this time. Jansen van Rensburg, one of 3 boundary fielders on the leg side, long on cow corner, and he's a deep square leg. And as Kobus Pino was saying, 2 fielders on the boundary and the offside, but a big gap between them. One is a deep backward point and the other at long off. And so Braden Hicks, that's the perfect way to go. Over extra cover, massive hit into the chalets on the banks, 6 runs.
And then Tuli guilty on this occasion, too slow through the air. He saw the early move from Ritchie and he decided to take off the pace, and Ritchie was just too good. Exquisite timing over that vacant area we just discussed for a maximum.
Hicks goes on to 20, Chris Brits on 45 not out. 80 for 1, 1 ball left in the 11th over. And now there is a man on the extra cover boundary. He's moved from deep backward point. Just try to overhit that a bit. Hicks lost his shape and the timing, so dot ball to end the over. 11 gone, 80 for 1.
Yeah, it just shows those 2 maximums in the last 2 overs, one from Brits and one from Hicks, how it escalated the run rate, and you can see it moved up to just over 7s now, 7.3 after that 11 over mark, and that's what's important. And we mentioned about James Ritchie, the leg spinner, and no surprise, he's into the attack here.
Thoughts on a par score, Kobus? 80 for 1 after 11?
Yeah, I think they need to always look at wickets in hand. At over 12, you look to double the score in T20 cricket. That's sort of the common rule of 40 here. So we mentioned that 160 a couple of hours before, and I'm still there. I think 160 is par, the position they found themselves in. And if one of these 2 batters get on and get a big one, then 160 will be easily reachable.
The Mpumalanga Rhinos perhaps showed potentially what is possible on this very good batting deck yesterday afternoon when they chased down a target of 147 in 13 overs and 5 balls. So generally 200 I think is par here at Supersport Park, but where Eastern Storm are at the moment, certainly 160 is what they should be aiming for. But if a team gets away to a good start, if the Rhinos had batted for 20 overs yesterday afternoon, they probably would have got to 200.
I think what's important in this time of year, when the wicket is a little bit on the slower side for Supersport Park's norm, it's still a good wicket, but it's a little bit slower than what we're used to for those big scores, is that power play becomes so important against the hard new ball. If you look at the field placements with fine leg and third man in the circle for all the seamers, it just shows there's a bit slower.
Sliced on the bounce to deep cover.
Rich's first 2 balls, you can see he mixes it up. Not a lot of regular leg spinners that he'll bowl here. More of a variety of deliveries that he'll bowl. He knows the long boundaries towards the offside. You can see that one again out of the front of the hand, not the conventional leg break delivery.
He's bowled a good line so far, hasn't he? Everything on and around off stump, the protection of the big boundary on that side. There the slog sweep does come out, but Hicks had to fetch it. And straight to the boundary fielder for 1.
Yeah, very good so far. First 4 deliveries, only 4 singles. And it's so important for him to close this over well.
A little bit straighter this time, clipped off the toes by Brits. Thoughts of a second, but they'll only get 1. Good fielding out on the boundary.
Yeah, knowing Duzim Mbate quite well, the coach of the Northern Cape Heat, that's one thing they'll pride themselves on throughout this season. We'll just see how they get better and better as a fielding unit.
Slog sweep, that one's gone all the way. Lands just below the changing rooms here at Supersport Park. So a good over for the bowler, rather spoilt by the last delivery. Bit over pitched, head away for 6, and that's also the 50 partnership of 42 balls between Hicks on 28 and Brits on 48.
Yeah, we said from the start that Braden Hicks is the guy who can be influential in this partnership, and he's taking full control of that with 2 maximums in the last 2 overs. And that ball, you could see, didn't try and overhit it. He just get into a good position, and that straight slog sweep came to good effect.
So 91 for 1 after 12 overs. Chepo and Thuli now to bowl. No, it's a change of bowling, in fact. It's like a Nipo Pungosi, who along with James Ritchie is the other 2 arrivals in Northern Cape cricket for this summer. Pungosi from Free State, and James Ritchie was playing for the Tuskers from KZN Inland.
Yeah, you can see that field straight away, point onto the boundary, and that cover, an extra cover in the circle. So they're fully aware of that short boundary. It's just how to protect it as well as they can.
Well, there were calls for 2, but again, good fielding by the Northern Cape Heat, and off the boundary quickly, they keep it to 1.
Yeah, I must say it's impressive. I know you guys can't see everything off square where the ball's going, but lovely fielding on both sides of the boundary. The guy really worked hard from the fence to stop the second run, and equally well done by the point fielder on the fence who came in to protect the wicketkeeper if anything goes not towards plan.
Well, that's where he can't bowl, Pungosi, because the only boundary protection he has on the short offside boundary is both the men are behind square, deep back to point and the third man. And so as soon as you offer a drive on the offside there, it's going to be 4. Well put away by Braden Hicks, takes him to 32. 96 for 1 now.
Yeah, he needs to pull his length back here, Ken. If you look at the field of mid-off and mid-on in a circle, there's no way how you can over-pitch and go that full. It's just a free shot for the batter.
Edged over the wicketkeeper. Garnetar was leaping, but that too much of an edge. And 100 up for the Eastern Storm.
Yeah, 100, basically of the 13th over. A very good period of play for these two batters from Eastern Storm. Garnetar, long wicket keeper. And that's the nature of T20 cricket. It wasn't a bad delivery. He gave himself room and he just throwed his hands at it. And he got rewarded for boundary over the keeper's head.
Takes 6 to 36. Crampton did Pungosi. Oh no, the fielder got there. But I'm not sure he needed to dive, to be honest. He got there. And then in diving, the ball came loose.
Yeah, did all the hard work to cover the ground to get to the ball. Unfortunately, he decided to dive. I think he was closer to that ball than he expected. But very well bowled there by Mpungosi. Better length, better line. Don't give any room outside that offside.
Hicks got 2 runs out of that. Short again, and that's going to clear the long boundary. Well put away by Braden Hicks. A towering 6.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal shot. You can just see the talent this young batter possesses. He got inside of the line, and that's the long boundary, as we said from the start. And he sailed over for a maximum. $17 already with 1 ball to go. Expensive first over here by Mpungosi. And all the momentum and all the drive is with the Eastern Storm side.
That's going to have to be bowled again.
You're 18 now with still a ball to bowl. Becomes difficult when you're in this situation. Where to go here? And it's so important for Romano to glance next to him just to have a word. Just settle down. Just get out of the over as well as you can.
Short again. That's more off the top edge. Fielder's got work to do. Oh, he's misjudged it a little bit, but it was probably still going to sail over his head for 6. And 50 up for Braden Hicks. What an innings it's been with just 26 balls, 3 fours, and that was his 4th 6.
Yeah, incredible innings. You can see the wagon wheel. He scored all around, 360 degrees of the wicket. He managed to score some runs. His power game was very good. 4 maximums in that innings. Phenomenal innings, and exactly what Eastern Storm needed for him to take this partnership forward with the informed Christopher Brits.
So it's 115 for 1 now for the Eastern Storm. 13 overs gone. We've just seen a real acceleration now in the last 3 overs. They've scored 46 runs in the last 3 overs. So great going between these 2 batsmen.
Yeah, I think we were quite conservative over 160, but that impetus they had over the last 3 overs, they're looking at 180 now. If they play normal cricket from here on in with 9 wickets in hand, the sky's the limit here. And it's a very, very good platform for them to make the most of this last 7 overs.
Chris Brits on 49, just 1 away from his half century. Richie, oh, he's going to get his 50 with an edge. down towards third man. But a well-played 52 by Christopher Brits. He's been the anchor, the glue of this innings. 40 balls, 3 fours and 2 sixes.
Yeah, the anchor here, as you rightly said, the glue that keeps everything together. Very good 50 here. Only 40 balls, still 120 strike rate, which is very good. And it's so important to take that responsibility, to see what Hicks do on the other side and not to try and match him and just bat with him. And that's the most important part of cricket, I think, from a batting and from a bowling point of view, is to work in partnerships. And this is a great partnership for Eastern Storm that they're witnessing here in front of us.
Yeah, and I guess sometimes you have to accept the ebbs and flows within your innings as well. It might not always be your time to shine. And Brits has played a really good foil to Braden Hicks, who at the start of his innings was mostly just collecting the ones, got himself in, and then has really exploded. And it's a full toss. Just 1, no, they're back for 2. Good running.
Yeah, that's the maturity of a batter. I think Chris Brits matured a lot over the last few years. He played a lot of cricket, continuously scoring runs, so he understands the ins and outs of batting.
Bit short from Richie, and Brits has pulled high towards cow corner, just over the fielder. 6 more.
Yeah, another maximum, not a delivery that needed a wicket. I don't think that delivery deserved a wicket at all, but yeah, you can straight away see the short boundary comes into play. And Chris Brits just managed to clear it by a metre.
Yeah, it wasn't the best strike, but he got away with it. $14 overs gone, 127 for 1. Brits on 60 rather, and Hicks on 51.
Yeah, if you look at it, the last 5 overs bowled by slow bowlers, spin bowlers, every one of them conceded a 6 within the over, and that's very difficult then to control the run rate. And you can see straight away how that run rate jumped up to 9.1 per over, 127 after 14. So the momentum fully with the Eastern Storm batters at this point in time, and it also allowed the break and change of bowler, and it looks like Mpumalanga is coming back from the Innings River end.
He's got 1 over remaining. Heaved away high towards the backward square, over the fielder's head, another 6. Well, the spinners are now getting punished, and there's still, well, after this over, there are 5 overs left to be bowled for the Northern Cape Heat. And of the seamers, Morne Fenter's got 2 left, to Blanche has got 2 left, but then they might have to turn to Pungosi. Hit hard and Tuli has he got it. Oh, great effort by him, leaping. Just touched the ground though on the rebound.
Yeah, that's a pity. The partnership they needed to break. There was the opportunity, the half chance.
Oh, another towering hit over long on. Braden Hicks is really putting on a display here.
Yeah, some massive 6 has been hit here. Still based by Braden Hicks, and his timing is exquisite again. Over the long on fence. And then Tuli will be bleak with himself for putting that catch down. We know he hit it quite firmly towards him. And on the second grab, he couldn't touch it. It's important for Garnet Tar just to have a discussion with Tuli in terms of what their plans are.
And that is a 100 partnership now between Chris Brits and Braden Hicks of just 58 deliveries. Phenomenal stuff. 8 sixes in that 100 partnership. So these two are really cutting loose now. And now the reverse sweep, it doesn't quite get hold of it. Oh, that's good batting. Gave himself room to access the offside and has slapped it through the covers for 4.
Yeah, classy Braden Hicks here on this occasion. You could see that 4 fielders on the leg side on the fence. They brought up the boundary right on the offside, and he just gave himself enough room to get it in the gap.
We saw a couple of times yesterday that batters could become a bit too obsessed with the short side and didn't take advantage of the many scoring opportunities there on the wide open spaces on the other side of the field. I think that's what Braden Hicks has done really well. He's made the most of both sides of the field and not just become obsessed with the short side. 67 now, Hicks 143 for one. Edges that one. Oh, third man couldn't make enough ground to cut that off. 4 more to Hicks. Wow. They really are rampant at the moment, and especially Braden Hicks. 71 not out.
Yeah, interesting cricket always. Mpumalanga didn't have a great first over, and now the ball was following him. And he there in the short third man couldn't stop the ball that went for a boundary. And the momentum, well and truly, with these batters from Eastern Storm. Beautiful partnership that we're witnessing here. Some very good cricket early in the season. And it's so important to hit the ground running, and that's what they're showing here on display.
Yeah, nice for a guy like Braden Hicks, who was based here, just to show exactly what the talent he has got. And he's setting himself up nicely for a good season. Mpumalanga actually was the last bowler used yesterday as well by the Northern Cape. He actually bowled really well, 3 overs, 2 for 23. The way the spinners are being hit, he might still need to bowl, but it is going to be the left arm seam of Romano Terblanche, who's brought back with all his experience. Can he find a way to stem the bleeding?
Yeah, 5 overs left. He only got 2 of them available up his locker. Interesting to see where the captain goes.
Great delivery. Oh, unlucky just outside that red guideline, but good idea.
Yeah, the right field also for that wide Yorkers. We look at third man on the fence and the cover sweeper and long off. So enough protection on the offside. You can see fine leg is in the circle, in the 30-yard circle, and square leg is up. So we sort of want to eliminate the one side of the field with his plans.
That's fine. Slap down to long off. That's pretty much exactly what Terblanche is bowling for. He'll take 5 of those in the over, no doubt.
It's important to get your plans in play against Richie. Very dangerous. I'm sure Richie will try and get into the bowler's channel here. We know that vacant short boundary on the leg side is an opportunity here for Hicks to maximise.
That's going to be the 150 up. Just off the toe of the bat to cover.
Yeah, very well bowled by Romano Terblanche. You could see Braden Hicks took his stance deep in his crease outside that off stump. So he want to utilise the leg side. Here Chris Brits is more conventional. Also deep in the crease. He understands that Romano Terblanche is going to look for those full Yorkers. Try and get underneath the ball.
Full toss now. Has he got enough of it? Long off is settling under the ball. Well taken. So, as is often the case, it's the full toss that gets the wicket.
Yeah, very good catch by Tristan Janssen van Rensburg. He had a good day out in the field so far. Very athletic fielder, and he made sure on the fence there to take the catch. And a vital breakthrough. Chris Brits need to depart for 61. A very well played 61 by the opening batter from Eastern Storms. He'll be happy. It's always disappointing to go out at the back end of the innings, but nonetheless, a very good 50 by Christopher Brits.
Yeah, he's been the mainstay of this innings. Batted really well in the power play, set up the platform. Hicks has rather taken over as the aggressor, but a great job by Brits. 61 off 46 balls, 3 4s and 3 6s for him. Caught by Janssen van Rensburg off the bowling of Terblanche. And the Eastern Storm are 150 for 2. Just interesting to note that They've had 10 sixes already in this innings. Yesterday, they only had 2 sixes in their entire 20 overs. So I'm sure Coach Jeff Toyana had a few words with them overnight about things like intent. And they've really come out a much improved outfit today.
Yeah, nice way to bounce back. And this guy excites me, Ken. The young batter, Devan Murray. We saw what he could do in the Under-19 World Cup of South Africa. One of the stalwarts on that side. Hard hit of the ball. Unbelievable fielder in the outfield. And it's exactly what he needs this last 4.5 overs. How much damage can he do?
That's going to be another wide by Blanche. Yeah, Devan Murray struggled a bit yesterday. He just couldn't get going. He times I think tried to hit the ball a bit too hard. Just trying to find him his. Well bowled by Blanche. Devan Murray made 17 of 18 balls yesterday, just the 1-4. But he showed last season in the T20 competition for Eastern Storm just what a talent he is as in this finishing role. Averaged 78 with a strike rate of 158.
That's remarkable figures by the young right-handed batter.
Just footwork not in sync with the batting just yet.
Yeah, I must say it doesn't look very rhythmical, the movements there. He needs to find his feet and he needs to get going there, but you can just look at the sequence there of his foot movements with his bat swing. Doesn't correlate at this point in time. Important to get used to the pace of the wicket and then find your feet and get going.
Full toss, and there could be 2 on the go here. No, yeah, they're coming back for 2, despite the good fielding of Janse van Rensburg. Good running by Braden Hicks, and Devan Murray is underway.
Yeah, good over by the experienced Romano de Blas just to stop the momentum of the batting side. He got the breakthrough of Christopher Brits. A tidy over. Here we can see the Northern Cape Heat side up to this stage only conceded 3 extras, 3 wide deliveries. 2 was in this last over, although a good over without any boundaries.
Excellent over by Romano de Blanche. Just 6 runs off that over, which means it's the cheapest over since the 9th over. So that did help to stem the bleeding a bit. And now can Pongosi follow suit from the Henops River end. Braden Hicks on strike down, 72 not out. The Eastern Storm 153 for 2 after 16 over. Pongosi's first over went for 24 runs. So he'll be under pressure. Longworth is coming back into the circle. Again, he's got third man and fine leg on the boundary, and a man at deep mid wicket and a man at deep backward square leg. Up and over by Braden Hicks. Has he got enough on it? I'm sure he has. Over extra cover. It'll be 2 runs.
Yeah, you could see Braden Hicks is just going to throw the kitchen sink at the balls now outside that off stump. Mid-off in the circle again. And this is important over in the context of the game. You can look at that scorecard. Morne Venter got 2 overs left, so he'll bowl the last 2. And Blanche got 1 over left. So this is important over. We mentioned that last 5 overs that need to be bowled. So he needs to get out of this 5 balls as well as he potentially can. Look at the change of field there. Mid-off is going to long off. The 4 guys in the circles, 3 on the offside and 1 on the leg side.
Well done, Pongosi. Hicks trying to put him off there, went a long way up, outside leg stump.
T20 bowling at the back end is such a lonely place at times, Ken. If you look at his figures yesterday, he was tidy, he was handy, he got a couple of breakthrough wickets. But if you're under the pump here, there's not a lot of places to hide.
Yeah, he needs to put that first over totally out of his mind. Not that easy to do though. Full toss, not timed by Hicks. They'll come back for 2 to the cow corner fielder. throw wasn't the most accurate.
Yeah, harsh call by the square leg umpire. Saw the full toss, but I wasn't under the impression it was higher than waist high. But nonetheless, the square leg umpire called a no ball, so this next delivery will be a free hit that makes things even worse.
Poor old Nhlakanipo Mpumalanga just can't get a break today. It's no higher than some of the other full tosses we've seen today, I'd say.
Yeah, you sometimes get the feel straight away of where the batter made contact with the ball, that there was no danger involved. As soon as it's above waist high, you feel there's danger involved. And in this occasion, it didn't look like James Ritchie expected it to be a no ball, but nonetheless, here it is, free hit round the wicket.
A low full toss, hit out to cow corner. Not a bad delivery that by Mpumalanga. So a good finish now to this over. Could be the difference between 200 or 185. Mpumalaga's bounced back really well.
Quite a dangerous double bluff delivery there. If you look at the field placement with third man and point in the circle there, to go around the wicket wide outside the off stump with a packed leg side boundary field. It worked well in his favour.
Well bowled again by Mpumalanga, just a single. I guess that's the thing bowling at this stage. You don't want to be too predictable.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're spot on there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, your field setting will always give clues to the batters. But always good to throw in a surprise delivery. And now a short one, but that's a fabulous shot by Braden Hicks. My word, wasn't that short? He rocks back and just straight on pulls it for 6.
Yeah, impressive. Braden Hicks, he moves on to 83, and after 17 overs, the side from Eastern Storm find himself in a very, very healthy position at 166 for 2, and this young right-handed batter is showing all his class here at Supersport Park.
Well, it was a good over until that last delivery by Mpumalanga, and I don't blame him for trying that. It was worth the variation, I guess, but Braden Hicks just absolutely on fire today. 83 not out. Duan Maria's with him on 3. 166 for 2 with 3 overs left, and Eastern Storm will certainly be targeting 200 now, as Morne Fento is going to bowl his third over.
Yeah, it shows again in T20 cricket how important partnerships are from a batting point of view, and then one guy who really gets himself in and takes the bowlers to the cleaners can take the scorecard up with heaps and bounds, and we can see the way that the young Braden Hicks is doing it here today for the Eastern Storm side. Incredible innings this far, and he will start to get that little bit of goosebumps that the potential of a T20 century is on the cards here, and that's a thing that don't come often.
Fento starts with a full toss. Down to long off for 1. He's got long off and long on back. There's a man at cow corner, and then a third man and deep cover. He's probably going to look to bowl fairly straight. Perhaps the batter can get it down to fine leg. Could be an area to target. No, straight again. Oh no, the misfield allows the easy second.
Yeah, it's good intensity in the running from Devon Murray straight away. Once he took off from a non-striker, he had 2 runs in mind, and he worked hard towards that, and that allowed him to put pressure on the fielder who fumbled in the deep here for an easy second run.
bowling by Fenter. He's just keeping it to one side of the wicket and bowling to his field.
Yeah, one thing that always sort of bothers me, and you can see it straight away again here, we haven't seen a proper old school Yorker in the last 3 overs here. They're under the pump from a seam bowling point of view, and that's sort of a thing that went out of the game. And I think that's an important part of young bowlers to make sure in their training that they spend a lot of time on that. There we can see, perfect,
Yeah.
on the line.
Yeah, at this stage of the innings, you'd definitely rather have a low full toss as a bowler than a length ball
100%.
in
Yeah.
the slot. So Yorkers, even if you just miss it a little bit, again, getting it up there, Fenter, he's done well. 172 for 2 now. 1 ball left in the 18th over. They're bidding for the caught behind, and it's been given. Divan Murray looks a little bit astonished. But,
Yeah, he didn't look comfortable at all, Ken. You said yesterday also struggled with pace. He got 17 of 18 deliveries today. And you can see there's 5 runs that he scored here today. He never got going here. It looked uncomfortable. He struggled. You can see that one, how he lost his wicket. Just went across the line. Didn't really get used to the pace of the wicket. And, bit of work to be done by him before the start of the season. But that's why these opportunities are there for guys to find their feet early in the season.
Absolutely, we do know what a talent he is. And it's a tough role as well for a young man to come in back end of the innings and try and knock the bowlers out the park from the start. So Divan Murray caught by wicketkeeper Tara's second catch off the bowling of Fenter again for 5, and the Eastern Storm 172 for 3 after 18 overs. And again, a good over that, just 6 runs and the wicket. And suddenly 200 looks a little bit further away for the Eastern Storm. As Jason van Dijk comes to the wicket. Braden Hicks will have strike though on 87 not out.
Yeah, 13 runs away from that 3-figure mark. Such a special thing for a batter to achieve, and if you can do it in a 20 game, so much more special.
Pongosi continues. Oh, that's another huge hit. Braden Hicks onto the banks on the scoreboard on the eastern side of the field. Another 6. It's back-to-back 6s by Braden Hicks now off Pongosi.
Yeah, that's incredible ball striking to the long boundary here. We mentioned about it, but that's a good 15-20 meters over the boundary onto the grass embankment. So serious ball striking here by Braden Hicks. He moves into the 90s, 93, 7 away from a century, and I must say, incredible striking, incredible cricket here by the young right-handed batsman.
178 for 3. It's the SA20 auction next week. I wonder if Braden Hicks has his name in there as a rookie or as a under 23 batter. If any of the teams are watching today's innings, he's done himself no harm, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's the right time to put your name in the hat here and to perform here on the shop window of the auction.
Going for the leg stump Yorker, but just too wide. Pungose, who's protesting that Hicks moved across, but I don't think he moved across enough for the bowler to get away with that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a very good captaincy here. Pungose been struggling throughout the day. You have the opportunities of Venter and Blanche to bowl the last 2 overs. I'm not sure why they went this route. Already on 44 after 2.1 overs. It's just becoming a bit messy here from Pungose. He needs to get his head around it and just get out of the over. But sometimes I'll struggle to find out why this decision has been made. If you look at that scorecard and look at the Branch, 3 overs for 16, and Venter 3 overs, 2 for 28. One of them is not going to bowl their allotted overs, which is quite interesting.
Exactly right. I think sometimes teams get a bit too stuck on their plans. Short, it's up in the air, deep backward square leg, running in, taking the catch. So Pungose does eventually get rid of his tormentor Braden Hicks for 93, but it's been a tough old day for Pungose, who obviously this is his role. He comes on and bowls at the back end, but as you say, Kobus, when it's not your day, it's not your day, and teams need to be adaptable, and one of Blanche or Venter's not going to bowl out, and they're both having good days.
Yeah, it's strange sometimes. I think the predictability sometimes become an issue with cricketers, and you sort of set in your ways and it can sort of harm you. If you look at the best T20 sides in the world, how versatile they were in terms of their plans and how they change up. But nonetheless, a valiant effort here by the young Braden Hicks. He deserves the applause he's getting walking off here from his teammates and from the spectators here at Supersport Park. Incredible striking, and 93 of the best T20 runs that he's had in his career this far.
Well, a phenomenal innings by Braden Hicks. 93 of just 45 deliveries, 5 fours and 8 sixes in that knock. And what a thrilling hour of batting it's been by Braden Hicks. Salute to him. And he's put the Eastern Storm in a really strong position. It was Tristan Janssen van Rensburg who took the catch again. He's had a good day in the field. And Jason van Dijk plays and misses at that run. Mikhail Pillay has come to the crease. That'll just be one to the cover sweeper.
You can definitely say that Pungose has the ability to bowl at the back end of the innings. I just feel the pressure that the Brits and Braden Hicks put him on early in his spell, put him under pressure, and you can see that he's more than capable of doing it, but today he just struggled.
Yeah, sometimes a batter has your number. Good bouncer, well bowled from Pungose. Well, he's ended well. 180 for 4, 19 overs gone, and whoever bowls this final over, if they can have a decent over, I think Northern Cape Heat might not be too unhappy chasing around 190 compared to what they could have been conceding when Hicks and Brits were going so well. Looks like it's going to be Romano to Blanche to bowl the final over.
Yeah, from the 16th over there was definitely a stop in the flow of runs, and straight away you could see as soon as you take wickets in T20 cricket, that's the best way to stop the flow of runs, and they've done well to break the partnerships. A couple of good catches in the deep which helped them, and this the old stalwart Romano to Blanche will bowl the 20th over.
He's had a very good day with the ball, as we were saying. 3 overs, 1 for 16. Bowled 2 overs in the power play. And that's an excellent line. Oh, he's gone down though, has Romano to Blanche. This is going to be a great pity for both him and the Northern Cape Heat if he can't continue. But he does look in some pain.
Yeah, something happened straight away. He went straight down after that follow through. After he landed in the crease, only went a yard or two. It's either ankle or Achilles at the back there.
Well, the boot is coming off straight away.
I'm sure it's not the ankle when the boot's coming off, because that's one of the first things that they tend to do when it's an ankle. They try and leave the boot on for support as long as they can. But the medical staff is there, out in their numbers to look to see if they can help him.
Well, let's run through as we have 5 deliveries left in this innings of the Eastern Storm, who were sent into bat by the Northern Cape Heat, Kabelo Sekekune and Chris Brits. Made a reasonable start, 38 for the first wicket, before Sekekune was out for 15. And then the fun started, a magnificent partnership between Chris Brits and Braden Hicks, with Brits making 61 off 47 balls, and Braden Hicks has just departed a couple of deliveries ago for a scintillating 93 off 45 balls. And that's taken the Eastern Storm to 180 for 4 now, with 5 balls left. And very sad to see Romano Tablanche being helped off the field, unable to walk on his own steam, unfortunately. So I would imagine Morne Venter is going to have to bowl the last 5 balls of this innings. That's a great pity. And especially, you know, just before the season proper starts, you really don't want to get injured this time.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happened there, because he went straight down in a lot of pain. So the fact that I took him off straight away shows the severity of the injury. And in their side, as an all-rounder, they're going to miss his batting also today. But nonetheless, the last 5 deliveries will be in the hands of Morne Venter to close the innings here for the Northern Cape Heat.
The ice is going on his ankle. Maybe he just twinged something. Anyway, our best wishes to Romano Tablanche as Morne Venter picks up the over. Oh, very well bowled straight away. That's excellent work.
Yeah, on the money. That's the pick of the bowlers today. If you look at the figures, he's on 2 for 28 after 3.1. And that's a perfect Yorker outside the off stump.
I guess he would have figured he was going to have to bowl when he saw Tablanche go down. It's also not a bad delivery, that wide line. And unfortunately, the misfield of cover will give Easterns a second run, 182 for 4. Very well bowled, Morne Venter. Great work.
Yeah, that's impressive. Right, but the doctor ordered in that block hole outside the off stump. Very hard for Van Dijk to get underneath, to get any power in the shot. And the last 2 deliveries, what will it be?
Mikkel Pillay on strike, yet to get off the mark. Right idea, and it could be a run. Oh, he somehow missed. Oh no, he didn't miss. It's ball went through the stumps, but dislodged the bail. But the square leg umpire says Van Dijk is safe. So 1 more to the Eastern Storm tally, 184 for 4 now, and this will be the last ball of the innings. Can Van Dijk get them up to 190? I think if they don't get to 190, I feel they've left themselves a little bit short of where they could have got to, where they should have got to. Excellent bowling by Fento. They'll take a chance on the second, but good work at Pongorsi at long on rather, and Van Dijk has run out at the wicketkeeper's end. So just a single off the last ball leaves the Eastern Storm on 185 for 5.
Yeah, definitely a second half of this batting innings of two halves. The first half that belongs to the Eastern Storm batters when Richie and Brits were going in full flow, and I must say the way the last 4 overs the Northern Cape Heat seam bowlers pulled it back here was remarkable to get them into this encounter. 185 is a very good first innings score. I think if they had given that before the innings started, they would have taken it by both hands, but they definitely at one stage were in a position to get to that 200 mark. But nonetheless, a very good first innings of 185 for 5 after 20 overs. A great innings. Highlight of the day, James Ritchie's 93.
Braden Hicks.
93
off 45 balls. Quite phenomenal innings by the young man, and that partnership with Christopher Brits, who made the early running for the Eastern Storm, 61 of 47 deliveries, has set up a very competitive score. 185 for 5. Eastern Storm, sure, they could have got a bit more than that the way Brits and Hicks were going, but I think they'll be very satisfied, and it's a huge improvement on their effort yesterday when they could only make 143 in their 20 overs. So the other batters for the Eastern Storm, Sekekune got 15, Divan Murray 5, Mikael Pillay 1 not out, and Jason Van Dijk run out off the last ball of the innings for 5. So 185 for 5, it's a run rate of 9.2 to the over. 9.3 will be what the Northern Cape Heat will need. And what are their chances, Cooper Spina?
Yeah, I think it's a very good wicket, as we rightly said. Power play is going to be important, how they're going to use the new ball. And they will need one of their senior batters to get a good 70 plus on this wicket to give them any chance in this run chase. But a good wicket for cricket. Eastern side who lost badly yesterday, so they'll be under pressure coming into this second innings here today. But some good cricket ahead of us.
Easterns did make the final of this competition, the Momentum Health Challenge, last season, lost to the Eastern Cape Inyati. But Easterns also made the final of the Division 2 CSA T20 competition last season, won 5 of their 6 games. So they are a very tidy T20 outfit, and certainly did not do themselves justice yesterday. Today they've put it right with the bat. They've done half the job, defending 185 for 5, and we'll see how the Northern Cape Heat goes in their chase in about 10 minutes or so. Do join us then. Thank you. Welcome back to Supersport Park, the Momentum Health Challenge. First game of day. In Cape Heat, the Eastern Storm sent into bat, made a really impressive 185 for 5 in their 20 overs. Absolutely magnificent innings of 93 off just 45 balls by Braden Hicks, well supported by Christopher Brits, 61 of 47. So Northern Cape Heat chasing 186, and it's going to be a dot ball to begin with. Garnet Tar at the crease with Liam Doherty, and alongside me, Kobus Pienaar.
Beautiful 6. Maximum onto the embankment to the short boundary here. That's a nice way to open your innings. Semilani going on the second ball to the short boundary, and they needed that impetus in this power play. They want to make the chase anything worth it. And on that note, thanks Ken. Yeah, good to be with you here for the second half of this morning game of the Momentum Health T20 competition. And we're definitely in for a cracker here.
Well, I was going to ask you, chasing 186, what should the approach be? And I guess Garnet Tar showed us there. If it's in the right area, and it's nicely struck as well, just couldn't find the gap in the covers. But there's no doubt, chasing 186, you need a good start in the power play. But as you were saying earlier, probably more important not to lose too many wickets though. The Eastern Storm got to 185 after being 45 for 1 in the power play. So that's not the biggest power play, but important thing, only 1 wicket down, and with a bit more luck at the back end of things, they could have got more as well.
I think the important part is to strike the balance there between how many runs is enough in the power play and not losing wickets, because the only way that the bowling side can really get into action and get into plans is by taking wickets consistently in the power play. We know Tar is a heavy scorer at the top of the end. You look at the positions he got himself into, the couple of shots that he played, shows that the wicket is just going to get better and better as the day prolongs here. This is most likely the best part of this game to bat now. Beautiful fielding at extra cover. Saved a certain run, and that's the man on screen we spoke about earlier. Devan Murray is one of the best fielders at the 19 World Cup, and I would say one of the world's best fielders, the way he moves and how he gets to balls, and with a phenomenal throwing arm as well.
Outstanding fielder. Interesting that he's at extra cover, but I guess to the spinner that is a key area, as Similani ends his over well. First over gone, it's 7 without loss.
Yeah, bounced back nicely. Second ball went for a maximum onto an embankment just to go for 7 runs in a power play over as a left-arm spinner. Tidy over, and you could see he has very good plans his last 4 deliveries to keep the batters at bay. Looks like Ander Razamena will open the bowling from the Ennis River end. Bowler showed a lot of promise, settled now at Easterns, travelled a bit to different provinces. Originally from Northens, he played for Northens under 19s, so part of the Titan structures. And then he travelled around a bit, but it looks like he settled down now at Easterns. And a very skillful bowler who can bowl with good pace at times.
Into Garnet Tar, who gets the pull shot out. Reaching a long boundary out at Clark corner. Thought for the third, but they decide not to in the end. So 2 more, 9 without loss.
That was the first time for me watching live the way Garnet Tar goes about his business and the way he approaches cricket. I spoke to the coaches at St Andrews School in Bloemfontein, and they rate him highly as a schoolboy and how he got through the ranks. Aya van Wyk and Greg Hobson there at St Andrews Bloemfontein speak highly of him and his character and the way he goes about his business. A real hard worker, a good human being, and it's nice for him to move to take the opportunity to move 150 k's down the big roads there in between Free State and the Northern Cape to get more game time and more opportunity to play.
I think it's a pity that he's no longer in Division 1. I think he's a very bright talent. He has a phenomenal List A record, 50 over cricket. Oh, no, Rasameni. Rasameni bowled really nicely yesterday. 3 overs for just 19 runs, but he's started it a little bit erratically today. Garnet Tar, in the 22 List A games he's played, averages 49.5 and at a strike rate of 89.5, 300s and 250s. His high score is 192 not out in a 50 over game, so clearly a stroke player with a lot of promise and getting a chance at the top of the order in this T20 game. Better by Rasameni.
No, I must say, it looks quite organised in front of the wicket here. The first few balls, his intent is quite clear. He gets into good positions. Looks like he's going to take the short ball on. That's on off ball also. But yeah, those stats speaks volumes, Ken. It's a great fast start to his career, and definitely a promising young batsman that we need to follow closely.
Beautifully played. Gave himself the room, targeting the short boundary on the offside, straight into one of the chalets on the top of the banks on the western side of the ground here at Supersport Park. That is a phenomenal hit.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. Most likely the biggest six that we've witnessed today so far. Gave himself room, used the pace of Rasamena. We know it's a shorter boundary, but that would have gone on any boundary over the extra cover fence. And his second maximum, that takes him to 15 runs. Garnet Tar on fire.
Made such a nice sound off the bat, didn't it? And not the easiest shot to play, inside out over extra cover. Just shows the ability of the man. 25 years old, so stage in his career where he's probably really coming into his own now as a batsman, and I expect to see him make a lot of runs in Division 2 this season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what the reason is for the move also of these young cricketers. As you rightly said, that Division B, Division 2 cricket, where he's going to play himself and find himself in now. And potentially the opportunity to keep wicket also can be a factor that why he's moving. So I think we would have made the Free State side also.
Yeah, and Free State of course are in Division 2 this season, but I think Tar didn't play every game for them last season, and maybe that was a bit frustrating for him as he collects a single to go to 16 not out now, and the total 18 without loss after 2 overs, the Northern Cape Heat.
Yeah, so both teams that he would have potentially played for, both in Division 2, so that might be the opportunity just to get more game time. And then the second thing that might be a sounding factor is the fact that he's going to keep wicket for the side. If you look at the balance of the side, he will be the wicket keeper, and that to have 2 strings to your bow, that's a nice stepping stone for you to get back into Division 1 cricket if he has a good season.
Yeah. So Similani, the spinner, is being replaced. 1 over for 7. He bowled. That includes a 6. So not a bad effort by the spinner Similani. He's replaced by Jesse James Albany from the West Lane end. Too short, put away, easy as you like. And again, the grass banks get peppered by Garnet Tar.
Yeah, Tar just welcomes Albany. That loosener, half pitch ball, aiming to the leg side, and just picks it up. And you can look at the field there. Fine leg in the circle and deep square in the fence. But easy pickings for Garnet Tar. And this wicket, I must say, it looks a belter in the second innings.
Oh, 6 more. Majestic. Over the chalets by Carnatar. This is a brilliant start for the Northern Cape Heat and poor Jesse James Albani. He bowled 2 overs for 28 yesterday, and unfortunately a lot of it was due to him dropping short like he did there, and at his pace on this pitch you just cannot do that.
Yeah, that's the biggest maximum for the day. On the way to the nets here at Supersport Park. Great timing. And as you rightly said, just too short again from Albany, and Garnet making the most of it. Fast start, exactly what we expected in this second innings in the run chase. And they move on to 30, and it's only 14 deliveries been bowled so far.
That's we saw nothing bigger yesterday either. That was a beautiful strike by Garnet. He was advancing down the pitch a little bit and then adapted to the shorter length. The hook shot was out the screws. Better by Albany, but it's going to be another boundary, just a little bit too leg side.
Yeah, I think we see a field change here with the deep square and the mid-wicket fielder on the boundary, but I feel that the way that Albany approached his thing was completely wrong in terms of the length that he bowled, because those 2 fielders with a short boundary is not going to make a massive impact, and now it put pressure on him also on his line, because all the fielders on the offside are in the 30-yard circle now, so he needs to attack the stumps, which makes it difficult. And I must say, in saying that, the field is changing, and this just gives him a little bit more of opportunity to bowl outside that off stump, where the mid-wicket fielder came into the circle and the backward point fielder went to the fence.
Much better delivery. There we go. And Tara well beaten by that ball. That's more where Albany should be bowling.
Yeah, good length by Albany. You could see that fuller length, and it nipped away into the right-handed batter. So lovely delivery to follow up the first 3 boundaries.
Nicely whipped by Tar. Just a single though. There were times yesterday when Easterns were well beaten by the Mpumalanga Rhinos, just when you felt tactically in the field they didn't give their bowlers the best chance, dealing with the one short boundary and one long boundary. Just strategically seemed to get a few options wrong. So better by Albany. And 35 without loss after 3 overs.
Yeah, expensive first over for Albany, 17 of his first over, but I must say the way he came back after that first 2 maximums are very good and very impressive, and it's just like that's a better plan, just outside that off stump, that fuller length to allow the batter to get onto the front foot, which gives the bowler a better opportunity. Also important is to come out here and to battle from the start and not to sit on that score that your batters accumulated in the first innings, to make sure that you're on the money from the start. And that's a lot of teams, especially bowling first, they sort of take a couple of overs just to get into the game and to sort of wake up, which makes it very difficult.
Like all batsmen greedy for runs, Garnatar is also hogging the strike. He's also on strike at the start of the 4th over again. Andrew Rasamani to bowl it. Very good. Very well played. He just played around with the bowler a bit with his footwork going one way and then the other. And it wasn't a bad delivery in the end by Rasamani, but Tar good enough to get the reverse little scoop.
Yeah, impressive. You could see he was favouring the leg side of that delivery. Rasamani adapted well. He kept it outside off stump, and Tar were equally good enough to open up the offside. He realised straight away that third man and fine leg is in the circle, so you could see the plan with the deep square and the mid-wicket fielders on the boundary, so there was an option to scoop and to play the ramp, and he did it with great effect.
The This time he pulls between mid-wicket and mid-on. Can they come back for 2? They can now because the fielder has knocked on the ball. Just little things in the field make a difference. You fancy the Eastern Storm would have preferred Liam Doherty on strike, yet to get off the mark. And at the moment, Tara is really just seeing it like a beach ball.
Yeah, definitely a one-sided affair. Score on 41, Tar on 39. Doherty outscoring.
Unlucky for Rasamani. It was a good ball. Just about Yorker length on off stump. And Garnet Tar is just batting so well at the moment. Good enough still to get that away square of the wicket for 4.
Yeah, class here. Can't agree more, Ken. He's taking a claim here. Show what he's worth. Show how capable he is. All around the wicket. And to squeeze that ball out in front of point for another boundary. Phenomenal batting, and he moves on to 43. Not a lot of deliveries.
But to leg side from Rasamani. 1 bounce 4. Garnet Tar. The good balls are going for 4. And the not so good ones are being put away with absolute ease as well.
Yeah, impressive. As strong as he is on the offside, equally as strong on the leg side. But look at his balance at the crease. Stable balance, good still head position. Allows him options, 360 degrees of the field. And as we said from the start, a young and exciting talent that we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we said it was an easy put away, but those sort of leg side deliveries, if your balance isn't good, you can struggle to capitalise on those. But, as you said, Kobus Garnet Tar is really putting on a show at the moment. 47 not out. And the Northern Cape Heat 49 without loss, with 2 balls left in the 4th over. And there are some alterations going on now. There's going to be a fine leg on the boundary as well as a deep backward square leg. They're the only 2 fielders allowed on the boundary. And Tar finally gives Liam Doherty a go. And 50 up for the Northern Cape Heat of just 25 deliveries, 4 4s and 4 6s.
Yeah, remarkable going. We know that Eastern Storm capitalizes well after the power play, but they were only on 45 for 1 at the end of their power play. So the Northern Cape Heat with Garnet Tar running away of things and proceedings here in the second innings of today's T20 match.
Oh, very well bowled by Rasamani. How did that miss? He's bowled him. No, he has bowled him. It hasn't missed. I thought Doherty was setting off for a run. I don't think Doherty knew he was bowled initially either.
No, he didn't. I think it was a bit of an inside edge onto the stumps, but a very good Yorker to finish Rasamani's second over. Well deserved. Good pace right through Doherty, and unfortunately, he had the best seat in the house watching what Garnet Tar were capable of. Unfortunately, who couldn't get going. So they lose the first wicket, the last ball of the 4th over, and it leaves them at 50 for 1 after 4 overs.
Yeah, sometimes it can happen. The one batsman is making it look like child's play at the one end and dominates the strike. And Liam Doherty, that was only the 4th ball he faced, and an absolute cracker from Rasamani. Pinpoint Yorker. And Liam Doherty has to go for a duck. Not sure if that louder crack was, well, let's say it was the building teams busy with renovations.
We would definitely hope so.
Yeah, at Supersport Park, and not a bat flying through the air in the change room. But, unlucky Liam Doherty, as Tamsanka Kumalo comes to the wicket. He opened the batting yesterday for the Northern Cape Heat. Made 15 off 18 balls, couple of boundaries. Mpumalanga continues, and Garnetar just giving himself a bit too much room there.
Yeah, Mpumalanga started playing as a very young left-arm spinner in the Eastern's ranks, and he matured over the years. Very handy, very good variations.
Nicely played by Tar, the reverse paddle. And it's rolling away down the hill there for 4, down towards the river, very quick outfield. And that is 50 for Garnetar. What an innings. Off just 22 balls, 5 4s and 4 6s.
Yeah, remarkable. You could see in that wagon wheel, nothing in front of the bats. Very strong square of the wicket. 52 of only 22 deliveries. Phenomenal batting by Garnetar.
Now the conventional sweep attempted but missed.
Important for the Eastern Storm guys to stay in the fight here. We know it's a good power play, it's nearing the end of the power play, but they mustn't sit in that score and keep looking to take wickets.
Inside out by Tar, there's no one on the cover boundary. Too easy for him, 4 more.
Yeah, some beautiful shot making here by Tar. You know, not a lot of turn on offer. He realized the angle of Mpumalanga. He gave himself room outside the leg stump, opens up the offside, and he hits it with great timing where there's no boundary fielder available.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a tough ask for the spinner inside the power play. Only allowed 2 on the boundary and a very short leg side boundary to the right-hander, so he's got to have protection there, and I guess then he either has the long off, which he has at the moment, or a deep cover. He can't have both. Ooh, he's missed a slog sweep. He's outside the line of off sub though. Kamala had to hurry. Oh, better throw, and Kamala would have been run out.
Yeah, risky single. Kamala called it through, but that short third man fielder Rosamena, the guilty party here. Throw wasn't on target, and small collision here between the wicketkeeper and Kumalu making his way through. You could see that elbow took a beating.
Five overs gone, 59 for 1. The Northern Cape Heat. Garnetar back on strike. Yet again. 56 of the 59 runs he's scored, and Jesse James Albani is going to have a change of ends. He's going to give it a go from the Henops River end. His first over went for 17, and Eastern Storm were 38 for 1 after 5 overs. So this is a great start for Northern Cape. Oh, brilliant Garnetar again. The fancy footwork and a brilliantly executed scoop away for 4.
Yeah, impressive boundary. Used the pace of the ball, realized again that the third man and fine leg is in the circle. Got down nice and early. Watched the ball, made contact under his eyes, and that looks like a low risk shot, which is actually a very difficult shot to play.
63 for 1 now, the Northern Cape Heat.
Don't know when last I've seen such a one-sided affair. 60 of those runs for Garnetar, 3 extras, and none other batter has scored a single run this far.
It's been a phenomenal start by Garnetar, no question about that.
What I like about him is his intensity. You can see Strelly when he hits a boundary, he gets in good positions, and he dictates where the contact point is. But yet again there, that last delivery shows the class of the man. Decent line and length, good forward defence. He allows himself time at the wicket to settle and to prolong this batting innings.
Oh, very unlucky there. He hit that like a tracer bullet, but into the stumps at the bowler's end.
Best fielder in the house.
That's exactly what Pierre de Bruin said yesterday when it happened. Yeah, you bowlers relying on an extra fielder there. But Garnetar came in number 4 yesterday for the Northern Cape Heat. scored 15 or 10 balls with 1 6. Certainly wasn't as fluent as he's been today.
I would like to think he made this position his own after today's innings this far.
Absolutely.
Much better over the Albany. Much better length. You could see fuller length, and it's harder for Tar to score from. I know the improvisation of the first delivery was phenomenal to flick the ball over the fine leg in the circle, but the next 3 deliveries has been on the money from Jesse Albany.
Gave him just too much room to free the arms with the shorter length and a little bit of width, and Tar just waits for it, rocks back and very nicely cut down to the third man boundary for 4. I think Albany, someone just needs to chat to him about, if he's not going to bowl that fuller length on this surface, he's got to then bowl a slower ball into the deck. He can't bowl that back of a length normal pace delivery here.
Yeah, full pace, outside off stump, back of a length with third man in the circle. It's just easy pickings for the batter, especially a batter in this sublime form he's in at the moment. He's not going to miss out there.
Attempts another scoop. Albany's appealing. The wicketkeeper, Fonsal, only belatedly joined in. So, but that's the point you were making, Kobus, that rather get him trying to play scoops and fancy shots, because it's a lot harder to pull off and more likely to make a mistake than bowling too short and being put away very easily. It's the end of the power play, and the Northern Cape Heat are rocketing along at 67 for 1.
Yeah, definitely a power play. Northern Cape have won here today. Tidy batting, one-sided, as we said, 64 of those runs, the 67 runs from Ghana Tar's bat. Phenomenal half century so far. Hope he can go on to make it a big one. And the only way the Eastern Storm guys can stop the flow here is by taking wickets. Change of bowling here, leg spinner into the attack.
Yeah, Patel. Ghana Tar has a highest score of 72 in T20 cricket, so he's not far away from that already. 67 for 1 in the power play, and Eastern Storm made 45 for 1 in their first 6 overs. So Northern Cape Heat well ahead, and straight away the reverse sweep comes out from Kumu. Oh, again, he's struggling to make his ground safely, although when you're down for the reverse sweep, it does take a little bit of time to get up and running. Easier for Tar to make it to his end, but he's got the single, he's underway.
It'll be a good challenge here for Patel, the form that Tar finds himself in. Very low through the crease, quick through the air.
Hit hard, long off. Cuts it off, keeps it to 1, good work. Well, I think it's going to be a bit of a daunting challenge for the young leg spinner when Ghana Tar is in this form and frame of mind. He has started well though, has Patel.
Yeah, very good control for a leg spinner. 3 balls on the money. As I mentioned, nice and quick through the air. He doesn't allow batters to get underneath the ball. And this 4th delivery, so important to Tar.
Oh, very nearly got through there. This is an excellent over by Patel. 70 for 1, Northern Cape Heat in the 7th over. Oh, he wanted to get more of that. Did Tar, but just a little under edge gives him a single.
Yeah, difficult shot to play against Patel. You could see very flat in the crease. So not a lot of bounce from his deliveries, but nonetheless a very tidy over thus far for Parth Patel.
Oh, well struck by Khumalo. Reverse sweep for 6. Brilliant. Brilliantly done.
Yeah, we seen in the first ball of the over, he was looking for the reverse sweep also, but the length just suited Khumalo there. He got underneath it, and I must say some very good bat speed there to get underneath that ball to hit it for a maximum. We know it's a short boundary, but he still had exquisite timing and got underneath that ball for his first maximum. And still a tidy over, went for 10 unfortunately by Patel, but I must say 6 decent deliveries in a good area.
Yeah, unlucky to concede the 6 off the last ball of the over. Makes it a 10-run over. 77 for 1 now after 7 overs, the Northern Cape Heat. And they require another 109 to win off 78 balls. They're 15 ahead of the DLS par at this stage, which tells you that they're in a good, strong position. As Mikhail Pillay is going to bowl for the first time in this Momentum Health Challenge. Medium pacer.
Big boundary, they're going to push for the second run, and very good fielding and an early call by Khumalo to send Tar back, and I think it's for the right reasons. The last thing you want to see now as the batting side is a run out, unnecessary run out, all the momentum with you as the batting side.
Yeah, they're going at 10.9 to the over. There's no need to take risky runs. Two men on the boundary on the offside. But, long off and a deepish cover, not all the way back. And 3 on the leg side at long on, cow corner and deep square leg. Khumalo heaving, bottom edge. You'll get one. 79 for 1 now.
You can see the field's been spread. The cover sweeper, long off, long on, with wicket boundary and deep squares. The 5 fielders on the boundary for Tar.
Just sliding down the leg side. Well, Garnet Tar's probably right to feel aggrieved that it wasn't called wide. The appeal distracting the umpire there, I think.
Yeah, we heard something in our ear, but not 100% sure where the noise was coming from.
And a mid-leg side from Pillay, and Tar has whipped that around between the 2 men on the leg side. Another boundary for the wicket-keeper batsman.
Yeah, you can see Pillay's plan. You can understand it, a long boundary with the 3 leg side fielders on the boundary. Just on this occasion, 2 straight with that fine leg fielder in the 30-yard circle, and Tar in just too good a form. Sometimes when the batters are out of form, those little tickles down the leg side go straight to the fielder, but in this occasion a good 3-4 meters left of the fielder inside the circle.
This time short fine leg will cut it off, just a single. It's all going for Garnet Tar at the moment. He's gone to 72 not out, and the total is 84 for 1. 1 ball left in the 8th over.
You mentioned it in the first innings, and we haven't seen much of it. That boundary towards the leg side of right-handed batters is very, very big, but we haven't seen one slow ball into the wicket or a cutter into the wicket that allowed a batter not to get enough timing on it.
Oh, well struck by Khumalo, straight down the ground. Long off is wide, he would have had no chance anyway. Long on, that's landed halfway up the grass bank. And a great way to end the over. Well done, Thamsanqa Khumalo.
Yeah, that's an impressive maximum. Straight down the ground. Good shot, good authority from Khumalo. Got to the pitch of the ball, hit right through it. Over that long on boundary. But to bring me back to my point is, the 6s that Richie were hitting of the seamers of Northern Cape were all pace-up deliveries. So it's easy to use the pace and to hit over the top by Braden Hicks. Sorry, I keep messing the two guys up. But Braden Hicks 93 hit a couple of maximums over that leg side boundary, and all those balls were pace up boundary balls. So it's easy to hit through it. As soon as you take the pace off and you bowl the ball into the wicket, it can become very difficult towards the big boundary.
Yeah, Kubus, we saw it yesterday when there were seam bowlers who did do that, exactly that. Slower ball into the deck. And it was very hard to hit. And sure, you might concede a 1 or a 2, but it's better than just going for the flow of boundaries once a batter's well set, like Braden Hicks was, like Garnet Tar is now. It's too easy. And Khumalo again's got the reverse sweep out, chipping it over towards cow corner. It's not going to go all the way, but they're back for 2. 93 for 2 now, for 1 rather.
Yeah, I would like to find out a bit of Khumalo's background. Definitely look like a hockey background, the positions they get into.
This time it's more orthodox, cutaway down to deep backward point.
I must say, I'm impressed by his first 19 runs, the way how busy he is at the crease, getting into good positions. Left hand at the top of the order, also a nice attribute for the team to have. Sorry Ken, I got the Hicks and the...
Oh no, full toss, and Tar has just helped that onto the banks for 6 more. So it's a hard life being a leg spinner, and Patel's just learning that just one bad ball and over can really cost you. 50 partnership now between Tar and Khumalo, and it's taken just 28 balls. Goes again, Tar, and it's going to be 6 more.
Yeah, not the best timing on this occasion, but the short boundary, and a guy in his form still capable of getting it over that short boundary. 2 maximums on the bounce, and all the momentum is of Garnet Tar and the Northern Cape Heat side.
Well, they've raced past 100 now. Northern Cape Heat, 106 for 1. 1 ball left in the 9th over. Oh no, way too short. And 6 more over cow corner this time for Garnet Tar.
Yeah, unfortunately Patel's last delivery, that's his first real bad ball that he bowled. Way too short, just looks like the ball got stuck in his hand on delivery. And Garnet Tar, too good, and in too good a form to miss out on that occasion. And 3 maximums in that over, and the Northern Cape Heat is running away with this run chase, nearing the halfway stage.
Yeah, 3 successive 6s to end the over means the Northern Cape Heat are 112 for 1 after 9 overs, and they need just 74 more to win off 66 balls. So when they started the innings, the required rate was over 9 to the over. They've got it down to 6.7, and Garnet Tar, and he's found a very good partner in Kamsanka Khumalo.
Yeah, Kabelo Sikakuni into the attack with his part-time off-spinners. You can see that a lot of teams, a lot of captains favour the spin bowlers on this early spring wicket here at Supersport Park.
The spinners initially did well for Northern Cape Heat earlier this morning, but then once the partnership had developed, they were put to the sword by Hicks and Brits, and Garnet Tar continues to plunder runs here. 4 more for him.
Yeah, that's such a remarkable shot. We look at the pace of Sikakuni around the wicket. He knew Garnet Tar that there was a fielder in a circle. He knew there was enough pace on the ball to elevate it over that fielder at the 45 short fine leg position. And there again he helps it on his way over that same fielder. Not enough timing this side. Van Dijk runs around, picks it up, But Garnet back for 2 runs again.
97 not out now, Garnet. It really has been a phenomenal innings.
I was fortunate enough to meet him in February when we played down in Bloemfontein against St Andrew's School, and if you look at his physical condition, the way he's built and things, you can see there's a lot of work behind the scenes being done, and for a guy to be that fit and to bat the way he is at the moment shows a lot about his character.
And having kept wicket for 20 overs. I know it's not like a 4-day cricket effort, but there's a lot of intensity in T20 cricket. It does have physical demands, and he's come out, he's batted absolutely superbly here. 98 not out, Garnet. Khumalo on strike now on 19. He'll stay on 19. Might have to bowl that again. Oh, he's gotten away with it. Oh, it's been caught a no ball. Didn't bounce twice, did it?
No, it didn't bounce twice. It was outside the white line. I'm not sure what the fielder potentially was.
Did the keeper maybe take it in front of the stumps?
Yeah, I looked at the field place, and there was definitely 4 guys in the circle. The allotted 4 guys were there. So that's the only thing, because the square leg umpire definitely had a signal towards the standing umpire. So that might have been that the keeper took the ball in front of the stumps.
Because keeper Van Dijk did sort of freeze in position and was definitely looking at the square leg umpire. Anyway, they got away with the free hit, relatively unscathed. 10 overs gone, 122 for 1, and at the same stage the Eastern Storm were 69 for 1.
You can see at the bottom of the screen here Captain Brits in deep conversation with Andrew Razamena of how they're going to stop this run flow, and more importantly how they're going to break this partnership, because at this stage, at this rate, there's only one team who's going to win this game the way they've been going this far.
Braden Hicks, the star with the bat for the Eastern Storm, he's behind the stumps today after Jason Van Dijk kicked wicket yesterday. Had a bit of a tough time behind the stumps, 8 byes. Van Dijk conceded yesterday. And, you don't often see a wicketkeeper called up for taking the ball in front of the stumps. Oh, he's mistimed that down the ground. It's going to land safe between the bowler, mid-off and mid-on. Not much going the way of the Eastern Storm today, with the ball anyway.
Yeah, completely mistimed on this occasion by Khumalo, but the ball falls in no man's land. Not the bowler or the 2 fielders nearest to the ball could get close to make the catch there. And if it's your day, you need to make the most of it and cash in, and that's exactly what these batters are doing at this point in time.
123 for 1 now, and Garnet on strike on 98. Not out. That lucky single has taken Khumalo to 21 not out. Garnet on 98 though, and the field well spread as you would expect. 3 on the offside boundary and 2 on the leg. Oh, high full toss, put away, down past fine leg. What 100 by Garnet. Magnificent batting.
Yeah, superb Garnet, well deserved freebie to get to 100, but nonetheless phenomenal innings. The way he played, the way he manipulated the field, his power game, his skill set around it were phenomenal, and a well deserved 100 for a young man. Only 47 deliveries in 43 minutes, 11 fours and 7 sixes, scored all around the boundary. And he will definitely remember this for a long day. Continue.
Well, I think he's just showing that he's a young batter who deserves a bit more recognition in the South African game. Nicely steered down to third man. He's pushing on for 2, won't get it. But I just think it's a pity that a batter of his talent is in Division 2 in the coming season.
Yeah, it's a tough school to be in. As you said, he didn't get selected every single game last season in Division A. So the move across might just give an opportunity to add numbers. But then again, the amount of cricket they play in Division 2 is substantially less than some of the other teams across the country in first-class cricket.
Kamala, he likes that shot, but he's held out this time. Well, it's been a bright contribution from Tamsanqa Kamala. Caught it fine leg now for 21, but he's certainly played his part in ramming home the advantage after that opening stand of 59 between Tar and Doherty. 129 for 2 now, the Northern Cape Heat, as Kamala departs for 21.
Yeah, Kamara will be disappointed. If you look at the shot, it's a highly skilled shot. He hit it in the middle of the bat, but unfortunately the field wasn't right for that shot. Third man was on the fence and not in the circle, so he couldn't help it over, and not enough pace on the ball to get it over that third man fielder. So a high risk shot, but nonetheless a good catch, and the second wicket down for Razamena.
And Kalia Ridwad, the fielder down at third man. Rasamani gets the wicket. Kamala made his 21 of just 13 balls, 2 sixes in there.
A new batter in for Northern Cape Heat here, Tristan Janssen van Rensburg. He did the hard yards, went straight after school after he finished at Menlo Park down to Northern Cape and to Kimberley. And it's good to see him coming through the ranks and finally getting an opportunity at the main side, and hopefully it can be a good season for him in terms of first-class cricket, and all the sacrifices have paid off, and let's see how he's going to use this opportunity to start this partnership off with Ghana Tar.
Was one of the standouts in the field for Northern Cape Heat. Rasamani, 2 wickets to his name now. Squirted away off the outside edge to third man for 1.
Always nice to get off the mark to start your innings off. Single down to third man. Rasamena been good this over so far. 2 deliveries to go. The dangerous Ghana Tar on strike.
56 needed off 56 balls. And Eastern Storm need to believe that if they can get Tar out, might just open up a little window of opportunity, then get 1 or 2 more wickets, and suddenly you put a little bit of pressure back on the batting side. $131 for 2 now. Last ball of the 11th over. Rasamani has finished well. Tar will keep the strike though for the next over. He's on 105, and it's 132 for 2 after 11 overs.
Yeah, Razamena got both the wickets so far. He's 3 overs so far, 36 runs. A bit expensive, but nonetheless the 2 wickets that he piled on.
Just feel that that scenario I was talking about. How do Easterns get themselves back in the game? Well, it's by getting Ghana Tar out, and perhaps another look at Similani. Who is the bowler that's caused Ghana Tar the most difficulty?
Yeah, I would agree with you
so far.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Similani has definitely been the peak for me in terms of control and in terms of dot deliveries. You know, the one ball went for a maximum, unfortunately, in the second over, but he's been tidy so far. Pelay going to bowl his second over here from the Ennips River end to the new batter Tristan Janssen van Rensburg. So you can see the field placing a bit more attacking. The extra man in the circle, 5 guys in the 30-yard circle, which I think is good captaincy, is to see to put some pressure on the new batsman.
Well, Krista Smesher, he's gone over wide mid-on. Couple of bounces, great work on the boundary, saves the 4. And just a couple of runs.
The ball came in from the boundary, almost hit Janssen van Rensburg on the way to the keeper. But I can't agree more with you. That shows a class player and is willing to take the game on, take it by both hands. And he straight away realised that the field is up and he made the most of it.
Christopher Brits with the excellent fielding, chasing that one down to the deep extra cover boundary. And he's now staying at a wide long off. Janssen van Rensburg slashes that through the covers. Yeah, he's clearly identified the game situation, that if Eastern Storm could have bowled a few dot balls to him, just built up a bit of pressure, it might have caused a bit of a problem, but he's not giving them that opportunity. Very positive batting right from the outset by him.
And for young players, it's so important to make sure that you go on with the partnership and to find your feet and to sort of realise that Garnet Tar is a danger man. You just give him strike and just go with him.
Oh, Tar came down the wicket and he's going to get away with it. Looped over the bowler's head.
Yeah.
Stood up a bit on there.
Yeah, just held up in the pitch and stood up a bit. Hit the top edge of Tar's bat. And it's not often when you see 2 back-to-back overs, you see balls fall in no man's land. Unfortunate for the Eastern Storm bowlers and team so far.
Attempted reverse paddle. Oh, Janssen van Rensburg. Well, he showed he was good in the field, and that was a very quick single he took. Ball dribbling out to short third man.
Tar must just, in my opinion, look to keep it simple. Just a couple of funny shots that we've seen past his 100 now. He's done all the hard work so far, just to keep it nice and simple, keep it nice and composed, and get your side over the line. So important. We don't have to change or rewrite the script here. Everything is going your way. So keep it nice and simple.
It's going to be one more to Janssen van Rensburg. Yeah, don't let Eastern Storm back in the game.
100%.
You know, you've got your foot on their neck. You need 49 or 49 balls. Plenty of space down the ground, plenty of room through mid-wicket. No need to do anything too extravagant. And there were 2 fielders in the ring behind square on the offside when he played that shot. So it was high risk, low reward. That's better, just down the ground. Take the one. All that's required at the moment. 138 for 2 after 2 overs, although Northern Cape will be thinking of a bonus point here. So in order to get a bonus point, you need to reach your target inside 16 overs. So they need 48 of 24 balls to get the bonus point. Perhaps that's why there's a bit of urgency in the batting of Garnet Tar and Tristan Janssen van Rensburg. You don't want to lose the match going for the bonus point.
Yeah, definitely not, and especially in this short competition, momentum health competition, that after yesterday's loss, a bonus point can put you in a position where you can potentially still qualify with bonus points. So they definitely go for it, and here's the guy that we felt was the most dangerous so far from Eastern Storm. Similani, the left arm spinner, back into the attack. Once again, the leg side is a shorter boundary, so he'll have his work cut out here, that's for sure.
I've no doubt Garnatar will attack him, but it could also draw a mistake. Here's the edge. Oh my word. One bounce to short third man. I don't know if he could have made it, but his initial movement was sideways rather than towards the ball.
Yeah, it's a big heave. Looks like he wanted to hit the ball to the onside. And then the top edge that sort of looped to that third man circle in the 30-yard circle. Not a great pace towards him, but as you rightly said, he moved slowly and he didn't get off the mark.
Yeah, it's an intriguing matchup between Mpumalanga and Tar, bowling from this West Lane end, because the short boundary on the leg side, but he's got to hit against the turn, as we saw with that first delivery. So eventually he gets back on strike. That's a bit short from Mpumalanga, and Janssen from Rensburg has put it away with a plum. 6 more to the Northern Cape Heat.
Yeah, Janssen from Rensburg, as we said in the previous over, made his intentions clear. He came into play, and it's a power shot out of the middle of the bat for a maximum towards the long end.
And again, same place, even further, to bring up the 150 for the Northern Cape Heat. Off just 80 deliveries, 11 fours and 11 sixes.
Tristan Janssen van Rensburg showed the left arm Mpumalanga, no respect, coming round the wicket, bowling into his strength, into the leg side of the left-handed Tristan Janssen van Rensburg, and he made the most of those 2 deliveries. Was nice for me, didn't overheat it, but very good timing.
Just the single this time. Oh, no, they're coming back for 2. Yeah, wayward throw again. 2 more, 153 for 2 now, Northern Cape Heat. How long out of school is Janssen from Rensburg, and did he make the Northern school side?
He played in the Northerns under 17 side for 2 years on the bounce. He was one of the bright prospects there, and then that was the time when Jordan Herman didn't make the Northerns under 17 side, so Tristan was sort of ahead of him. And at under 19 trials, that was one of the big changes that happened that year when Jordan Herman made the under 19 side ahead of Tristan, and he just missed out, which was quite strange over his career path going there. But then that opportunity Jordan gave with both hands, and the rest is history. He ended up breaking records at the Cups week and things from that opportunity he had. So Jordan's games dramatically improved in that final year of school, which cost Tristan his position in that landscape of the team, because they're similar. They're both right-arm off spinners and left-hand opening batsmen. But it's very good to see that he stuck around and he did his work, and he went to Northern Cape and get the opportunity now. Always been a quality player. It was just like, how these things work. You can't always have too many of the same players in the same side. And it's good to see him back playing and playing at the highest level again.
Score will stay 155 for 2. First ball of the 14th over from Mikhail Pillay. Yeah, it's pity both couldn't be chosen.
Yeah.
Jordan Herman is no doubt a huge talent, I believe. Got a very good 100 yesterday for SAA team against New Zealand A. His brother Ruben got another 100, back-to-back hundreds for him. Oh, that's a towering hit. Has it gone far enough? No, long on is under it. Well judged catch, very well taken. Well, Tristan Janssen from Rensburg is out for 21, but I think he's shown glimpses here today of his talent, and it's a very bright one as well.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with you. Showed quality, showed good intent, good ball striking ability. Unfortunately, again, that low full toss, very hard to get it over the boundary rope. And I must say, quite an impressive catch there running back. If I'm not mistaken, Andrew Rasamena took the catch. So he's done his part to get rid of the dangerous Tristan Janssen van Rensburg, and he feel comfortable walking off here, contributed to this run chase of Northern Cape Heat.
Yeah, 21 off just 12 balls, 2 sixes. So good job by Tristan Janssen van Rensburg. Caught Rasamani bowled Pillay, and the Northern Cape Heat now 155 for 3. 2 balls gone in the 14th over. Garnatar and 107 not out. Just 31 more runs needed to win. But can the Northern Cape Heat get the bonus point? They've got 17 balls remaining for the bonus point as Nonaliela Yika comes to the wicket. Straight away walks outside off stump and gets a bit of a lifter to deal with first. Good backing up. Saves 4 overthrows.
I think we can almost safely say that that bonus point is going to be very difficult to get from this position unless Tar unleashes and need a couple of maximums here. But the constant fall of wickets now and the last 2 overs, which was quite tidy by Simelani and Pillay, sort of stopped that run flow. But important just to get over the line from here.
Yeah, Tar will need to have the vast majority of the strike if they are going to get the bonus point to have a chance of it. He hasn't got all of that. On the bounce to deep backward square leg. $29 more to get for the Northern Cape Heat.
With the format here, can just give our viewers a bit of overview of how to get into the final.
So the top 2 after tomorrow is the last round of round robin play. One plays, all 4 teams play each other once. Top 2 go into the final on Thursday, and the winner of that final will then play the Momentum Multiply Titans on Friday. So they get an extra warm-up game for their season.
Yeah.
Titans men's team have just returned from their pre-season camp in St Helena Islands. Where was the best place you went to for pre-season with the Titans, Curtis?
Yeah, the best place we went to was down to Knysna. We had a trip there with Rob Walter. Phenomenal part of the country. Obviously, St Helena is something different, just to get on a plane and get out of the country. But we had some lovely trips down Knysna route where we did some of the runs there, and not a lot of cricket there. It was more like team building camps and things. I see here at St Helena they played a game against their national side also. So if you look at some of the fish that the guys caught on the boats and things, it looked a phenomenal trip to all the species and things. I didn't realize there were so many different species there, but I think that sort of spice of life that the guys experienced over that few days in St Helena, and a new team, a new coach. So let's see what that sort of have in store for them for the coming season.
Yeah, Ravesh Govint, the new coach, and Simelani continues bowling. There's going to be bars here. It might have just brushed the leg. Might be leg bars. It's going to be 4, whatever it is, 4 bars.
Yeah, that's the first ball that we've seen really kept low. Right through the wicketkeeper's leg, unfortunately. Far outside the offside. But that ball hardly bounced.
The Titans have really raised the bar in terms of pre-season tours in the last few years. Seychelles, I think. Now the St Helena Islands. Just a little paddle scoop over the wicketkeeper's head by Yika. 162 for 3. Big hit down the ground by Garnetar. That's going to be into the sand. Yeah, the thud. And perhaps this will get Garnetar going again.
Yeah, you're right. He got a quiet few balls, but the amount of power and timing he possesses to ease that ball over the long on boundary for 6. Razamena can only go and pick it up in the stands. Just shows you the class of the man and the quality player he is. And he moves on to 114 runs in this run chase. Phenomenal innings this far.
17 needed off 9 for the bonus point. Maybe it's back on. Yeah, it will be after. This is another 6 for Garnetar. Hits the cement base of the chalet at the top of the grass banks. Beautiful, clean strike by Garnetar.
Yeah, I think he realized what's at stake here and kept the strike, getting himself into a position where it's capable.
And now he goes over the covers. It's skewed out. Deep covers underneath it. And he drops it. Oh no. A life for Garnetar. He'll get a couple of runs as well. And that means there's just 9 more runs to get now. 9 or 7 balls for the bonus point for the Northern Cape Heat. This is heaved out towards long on the bounce and ends the over. So Garnetar will keep the strike. He's on 123 not out with the Northern Cape Heat, 178 for 3 or 15 overs. So the equation is simple. To get the bonus point, they need 8 off this over.
Yeah, and Garnetar on strike, I think it's definitely doable. That last miss hit actually was a free shot. If it went for a maximum, the bonus point were there, and now obviously the miss hit allows him to be back on strike. Looks like Pele is going to stay on from the Enops River end.
Done okay, Pele.
Yeah, he bowled nicely.
Be tidy, 3 overs, 1 for 22. Good effort when the batting team's going at 11.9 to the over. Leg side though, and scooped away for 6 by Garnetar. What a magnificent effort this is, and it's well deserving of a bonus point win for the Northern Cape Heat. Just 2 more runs to get now off 5 balls.
Yeah, it just shows again the class of the man. He gets himself inside the line of Pele. He helps it on, he uses the pace of the ball. Immaculate timing once again. And he moves on to 129 T20 runs, which doesn't come easily. Well deserved young man. And he's nearing home for that bonus point for his team. He's new to him, by the way, Ken, so he'll be happy to make such a big impact in his second game.
Exactly, and I was just thinking, Kobus, I wonder if there are any Free State Knights watching this game and thinking to themselves, oh boy, why didn't we keep him? Now the fielders are coming in a bit on the leg side. No, long on is going to drop back, but Cow Corner comes into a straight mid-wicket. 2 more runs to win. Oh, he's done it in style, Garnetar. Puts it right where that fielder came in from. 1 bounce 4. And that is a spectacular victory for the Northern Cape Heat, engineered by the most magnificent of hundreds, unbeaten hundreds, by Garnetar. Hats off to him.
Yeah, well and truly the Garnetar show here today at Supersport Park. Phenomenal innings, 135 not out, well deserved 100, well deserved not out. And there you can see 1 by 7 wickets in Northern Cape Heat with a bonus point. And I must say, I'm pleasantly surprised by the talent that this guy possesses, the power game he has, how simple he makes batting look, and he's definitely a bright star for the future, and most likely just the opportunity he needed at the top of the order to cement his place and to go forward from here on in.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be batting number 4 again for a while, given how well he's taken to the new ball and just set the tone superbly for the Northern Cape Heat. Was it the second ball of the innings? He hit for 6, I think it was. Didn't waste any time stamping his mark. And so the Northern Cape Heat have strolled to victory really by 7 wickets with more than 4 overs to spare, chasing a testing target of 186. Sadly for the Eastern Storm, who made the final of the Momentum Health Challenge last year, that's 2 losses now in 2, and they are out of contention to play in Thursday's final. At 1:30 p.m. today, we have the match between the 2 winners from yesterday, the Eastern Cape Inyati and the Mpumalanga Rhinos, and I dare say the winners of that game could well be meeting the Northern Cape Heat in Thursday's final if they continue with this momentum.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Ken. Good win for Duzimbata and his Northern Cape sides as a young coach and a new coach as head coach of the Union. And then back to the drawing board for Jeff Toyana and the Eastern Storm side after today's loss. They will have to look at their plans, reassess. I think they batted nicely up front, but from a bowling point of view, they were under the pump from the power play right on in. So a very good performance and a strong performance by the Northern Cape Heat side to win this game by 7 wickets.
Yeah, Eastern Storm had the runs on the board to make more of a fist of this match. But we saw it yesterday as well. Supersport Park is never an easy place for a spinner to bowl. So you don't want to be too critical of the spinners. But the Eastern Storm seam bowlers, I can't really remember a slower ball bowled into the pitch in either match they've played, which really is quite staggering. They must have seen, some of the action yesterday, what has worked on this pitch. So their pace attack certainly has something to do.
No, the adaptability in T20 cricket is so important for seam bowlers, and they've obviously been under the pump, so there'll be good discussions, and obviously Jeff Tiana got a lot of experience, so they'll go back to the drawing board and work on a few things, but hopefully we can see them bounce back. But nonetheless, a clinical performance by Northern Cape Heat, and the standout man of the match, in our opinion, I think we're not far off, will be Garner Tar in today's T20 match.
Well, I can't believe anyone would disagree with that. Garner Tar, spectacular effort by him, 135 not out, and he's really given us superb entertainment. I've got no doubt that this afternoon, when the Eastern Cape Inyati play the Mpumalanga Rhinos, there will be plenty of entertainment as well. This pitch, this excellent pitch, is full of runs, so do join us this afternoon shortly before 1:30.